Hello, I'm Nancy Smith Mattox on WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters Network, and I have a radio show called Shine Your Light Radio Ministry. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to talk to you. Wanted to let you know that WYTV7 and Shine Your Light is a talk forum. We have real people, real life, real speakers that are talking about real events of the local time. We are a top rated radio station and a top rated radio show. So I'm really excited about that. What we are not is a reality show or an entertainment show. We have a mission of hope that we share with everyone around the world. So if you're interested in being interviewed on Shine Your Light Radio Ministry on WYTV7, please contact me. And thank you so much for joining in and enjoy the broadcast. Hello, I'm Nancy Smith Mattox on WYTV7 and Shine Your Light Radio Ministry, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy that we're into 2019. We're going strong. Just wanted to let everyone know that we are a nonprofit at WYTV7. We do take donations, and what we use our donations for is to broadcast, to take all of our broadcasts and go international with them. So we always say $5 goes a long way. So thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here today. We have a remarkable woman of God with us. She's from New York. Her name is Twileen Lee. She's an author, a mother, and a grief counselor, and the founder of Forever His Girls, which empowers women and young girls who are victims of trauma. And she's also a pro-life advocate, so we're going to hit really well on that today, which is really a timely thing to talk about in light of what our states are doing right now that's just breaking all of our hearts. So without further ado, let's start. Miss Twileen, tell our audience a little bit about your background and your testimony and what motivated you to reach out to pregnant moms and post-abortive women.
Thank you for having me today. I was born and raised in Summit County. I'm a preacher's kid. Okay, yeah, I get that a lot. What got me started was I was pregnant with my third child, okay? And what happened was there was a family member that had come to me and told me I needed to get that child. Now, it wasn't the father, it was a family member. So here I was just divorced. I had to move back in with my grandparents. My grandparents, they raised me. So what had happened was he told me I needed a child. He took out a check out of his wallet and he signed his name to it. And he told me, I need you to take care of this right away, because if you don't, ain't no other man that's going to want you. So I'm thinking to myself, what nerve? How could you sit up there and tell me to abort another man? So after he left the house, I ran to the church and I spoke with the pastor. The pastor, she asked me this question, and it with me. She said, what is it that Twileen will do? And I told her, I don't want to have an abortion. I want to keep this child. So she said, good answer. So she told me, she said, we're going to love this baby and we're going to help you raise this baby. And she kept her promise. When I went back home later on that night, that evening, that family member had called me back and asked me, did you do that? And I told him, no, why? I said, I just can't do it. I'm sorry, I'm this baby. And he hung up the phone on me. So this is why I had got started with helping women in his honor.
Wow. And you talk a little bit in your bio about fear, the fear of women who have had abortions.
Right. I have clients
into that. So talk a little bit about that fear factor.
Well, I have clients who come to me and they are afraid. They're afraid when they get, they find out that they're pregnant. They come to me and we talk about it. And I find out where they want to go with this pregnancy. Sometimes they're pressured by family or the boyfriend. And I assure them that they can do this, okay? You can have this baby. You can go to school. You can get your education. You just have to make some minor adjustments.
Wow. That's very encouraging because, I mean, I imagine it's very scary. I know I was married quite a few years before I had my baby, but I was ready for it. I was planning on it, but I know it unexpected. That's just really scary thing. Your opinion, what must the church do about abortion? You say that that it's a sin problem, and the dark side of the topic from the pulpit. So what in your opinion does the church need to do about this?
Well, like I said, abortion is not a political issue. It really is a sin issue because when you have fornication and adultery, other things come with it, like unwanted pregnancies, and then the lady, she might get an abortion, and then that leads to depression, and the depression leads to other stuff like not loving herself, and hatred and anger, and these are sin issues and heart issues. So what the church needs to do, the church needs, okay, the church needs to stand up for the right and fight for the life of unborn children. The church also, like pastors who don't even touch that topic, they need to repent and talk about it, because this issue is like really serious, really serious. Look, we've heard what the world has to say on January 22nd, 1973, and since then, close to 6 babies have been aborted, and that is so sad.
That is heartbreaking. I mean, it really is. And it seems to have escalated here in 2019. I don't know. It seems like they've gotten some power in the world, and they use it for such a political football. It's really scary because, I mean, some states are even doing full term abortions. And that scares me. I mean, it's almost like God's getting ready to write Ichabod on this world. And I mean, I don't want that to happen. I want people to be able to manage this. And I do think it starts with the church. But the church is afraid. The church is afraid to talk about it. The pastors, like you say, won't take on the topic. So, I mean,
I think the reason is because they might be scared. They might see a decline in membership or tithing and offering. But the church is a revolving door. When one leaves, another comes. So the church should not be afraid about this.
Well, the church is already declining. Tithing is already declining. So, and they haven't done anything about abortion. But I do know that it's not I had hoped that it wouldn't be a split 50-50 type thing where 50 people are for it and 50 people are against it. I mean, I just hope that's not the case. I hope there's more that are against it. But they're also paranoid that politically someone's going to change something. And but it's really murder. So it's scared. It's really scary. Why is it so important to get the word out about reducing the need for an abortion? Why is that so important from your perspective?
Well, it's important because there are different methods for abortion. And one thing for sure that I've noticed that young girls are going to the drugstore and getting this new emergency birth control. And to me, it's promoting sex. It's called the one-step plan B. I think the church should stand up. I think it's important to talk about it because when you have these issues, here comes other issues like STDs. Here comes depression. I try to explain to young women that God's plan for man and a woman is to marry, have sex, and procreate in that order, okay? I don't know what happened, but it seems like people are not getting married anymore. The topic of marriage is like, non-existent. People are living together. That defeats the purpose of marriage.
Wow, goodness gracious. It's just, it's really such a timely topic. And Miss Twileen, please speak up a little louder if you can so we can make sure it's coming in real clear.
Okay.
Also, tell me how much different is Molech worship different from abortion? What is that all about?
It is the same. We just living in a different time. See, back in the Bible times, that culture, what they would do is they would take their firstborn and sacrifice it to Molech in exchange for finances, for wealth, good health, for children. Well, the same thing is happening today. You get a woman to have an abortion, and the devil brings you material goods, and that's horrible. That is so horrible. This is why we preach. Tell young women to stay off of that table, because you do not know what's really going on in the background when it comes to abortions.
Well, they're so young, and there's a lot of postings now about what the baby parts are worth, and it's really
right.
very valuable. I mean, it has a very big monetary value, which is really scary because it's killing babies.
Well, what I do is go deeper in that, because I explain to them that when you go to these abortion clinics, you don't know if there's a witch or a warlock out there trying to get you to come in so that they can take your baby's body parts and that blood and sacrifice it on an altar in the back. You don't know that. This is why we tell young women, look, save your virginity, okay? It's worth it when you just get married, okay? You don't have to go through this. I heard a couple say that they rather have an abortion than to adopt because they rather give the baby back to God. That was just so horrible. And some young women, they believe that the abortion is birth control, and it's not. I know young women who have 3 or 4 or more abortions, and it's sad. It's really sad.
Well, isn't there a lingering effect if you have an abortion? I mean, it might not hit you right when you're young, but later on in life, I mean, isn't that going to haunt you? Of course, I've never had one, so I wouldn't know, but it just seems to me that God's going to keep bringing it to the forefront, and it's going to be on your mind, and unless you ask for forgiveness of what you've done.
Well, that's what we talk about, forgiveness, because everybody doesn't know what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is giving up my right to hurt you after you wronged me. I tell young women, look, you got to forgive yourself. If you can't forgive yourself, you're placing yourself way above God, okay? And forgive all of our sins, okay? But for some reason, they just don't get it. They still linger on, I can forgive, but I can't forget. That's just as much as can't forgive. You have to forgive. You have to forgive, move on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's just so many. I mean, even there's another problem too, is that there's so many couples that can't conceive.
Right.
And these babies are needed. These babies are needed and wanted, and they need to be, they need to be with people. So that's another thing that really could be hit on. But I am intrigued about how the church is not taking a stand on this. That really does intrigue me, because it's just sin, and it's just murdering a baby.
Right. I think that churches, like pastors especially, should sit down with a doctor who used to perform abortions but is now a Christian, to tell the truth about what goes on in there so that he can present it to the church. I also believe that churches should develop connections with Christian counselors, okay? Just in case, say for instance, if they don't know how to, reach out to a woman that's post-abortive, they could refer her to that Christian counselor and have him either counsel her, or if they have that connection, what they can do is sit down and come up with a plan to help these women. Now, they have addiction program, alcoholic programs, and programs for people who have porn addiction. Why don't the church have it for women who are post-abortive or those who are at risk?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. They just don't, they're just avoiding a problem. They're avoiding, and it's such a political hot potato, they're afraid.
Right.
I mean, they're just as afraid as the one. Yeah, they shouldn't be. I mean, they should have a passion about it. I mean, certainly, it's just, I just think it's atrocious what's happened in at least 2 states that I've read about, where they have full-term abortions.
Well,
I
you
mean,
know, the interesting thing is that these young ladies, they sit in the church. And like I said, the pastor does not touch her hurt. When you lose a child, that's different. I've never had an abortion, but I know what it's like to lose a child. But they sit in the church and it's like they keep quiet about it. And we need them to come forward and speak up. The church needs to get rid of the labels. Quit calling women post-aborted women baby killers, because there are 5 reasons why women have abortions. And I explained that the first reason it could be because of the parent. Maybe she was 13 years old at the time, and the parents decide, well, I'm not embarrassing myself because you're pregnant. We're going to the abortion clinic. Or another reason could be it was incest. You know, the child was conceived out of rape or incest. And, you know, if it's going on in the house, there's a possibility that mom could have took her down to the abortion clinic and she had an abortion. Is that her fault? No, it's not. The third reason could be because pressure from the boyfriend. The boyfriend is telling the girl, okay, if you don't have this abortion, I'm going to get rid of you. Okay, get rid of it and we can stay together. I tell young women all the time, look, he's going to leave you anyways, all right? So the thing is, you better hold on to your baby. The other reason could be she probably belongs to a different faith, you know, because everybody is not Christian. And then when she comes over and converts to Christianity, she finds out that it's wrong and she's shy about it because of the labels that people are putting on her.
wow, I hadn't thought about it in that way, but you're absolutely right. So not only, I mean, they develop a stigma if they are post-aborted.
Right.
And how in the world do you get over that if you don't have counseling, and especially if you're not accepted in the church, because no one will discuss it. So, wow, that's a pretty big problem. We're going to take a quick station break here, so we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for, if you're just joining us, you're going to want to go back and listen to this. It's been fantastic and just a lot of information. We have a lot more to share. So let's have a quick station break. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to WYTV7. Can you make us your #1 listen to network? Visit us on the web at WYTV7.org. Contact us. We are currently accepting guests to share their story of hope with our audience around the world.
Welcome back. We had just a quick station break there, and I want to reintroduce my fantastic speaker of today. She is a woman of God and a published author and a grief counselor. We are talking about abortion and post-abortive children and women. And her name is Twileen Lee. She is from New York. So let's go ahead and finish our interview. And I'm just really excited to have you here. This topic is just so hot right now and so heartbreaking. So without further ado, let's go on. Tell me what makes your organization different than the other organizations, Ms. Twileen.
Well, with our organization, we reach out to women of all ages, but we want them to come to us. And there's a reason why. If we go to them and ask them, well, have you ever had an abortion, tense up and be like, no, I don't want to talk about it. So those who are willing to talk, they come to us and we meet at a library or someplace that's really private so that we could talk. My thing is I get them write a story and I have them read it back, which is therapy for them. And then in the end, what we have is a balloon releasing ceremony where I sit down and I tell the ladies, have you ever thought of giving your child? So what they do is they come up with a name and they write it on a card and we release it into the air.
Wow. And the name of I'm sorry to interrupt you. The name of the organization is Forever His Girl. And there's a lot of things that you do besides just post-abortive. So tell us a little bit more about other things that you do. That's fantastic how you have them write their story and then share that.
Right. We also go out to different events and we set up posts. People, they donate items to us. And what we do is we sell them at the event. And all the proceeds go towards bus passes, gift cards for Pampers, If they need anything, we're right there, stationary, because like at the end of the year, we convention, and then it's like we celebrate, bring in different speakers and everything. So we help out in that area as well.
Now that's just awesome. So tell me again now, they write their story, whatever trauma they've been through, doesn't have to be abortion, can be any trauma that they've experienced. They write their story and they share the story with the group. And then what did you say you do at the celebration?
We have a balloon releasing ceremony at the end. At the end of each session, we have it. And what they do is they give their baby a name. The baby that was aborted, they give it a name on a card, and then we release it.
Wow, that's really exciting. That's something that everybody can comprehend. You know, a celebration, releasing the balloons and all. That's just really is very uplifting, really. So, how many people do you normally have in a session like this?
Between 15 and 20 people.
Okay, and you do these sessions all over the country, right?
Well, I go to different events. I have workshops, and I get down and, you know, dirty with what goes on in the abortion clinics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stories from different women. I write it down and I take it out and I say, look, these are actually what the women have experienced. Okay, it's not just coming from me because I never had an abortion before, and it's not something that I make up. I share it at youth groups, at retreats, or a workshop or a convention.
Okay. But you actually go in the clinics and find people?
No, they come to me. No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Oh, okay. So what we need to do, and what will happen with this Shine Your Light interview on WYTV7, it will be posted, and we have millions of viewers that view our broadcast. Wow. And it's also international. So, you know, you could really start getting a lot of calls and a lot of people that need you in their cities and need you to do, you know, intervention and things like that. So that will be really good for you. And at the end of the show, I'm going to want you to share some information about how we can reach out to you and all. Okay?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay. And then, really, we don't have very much time left, but what I do want to talk about your upcoming book. I love the cover, and I love the title. It says Silent Jane, Her Struggle in Battle with the Church, Pulpit, and Pews. So that's going to be very interesting. So I want you to share a little bit about that and tell us what the book is all about and how you did that, okay?
The book is a true story about a young woman I had ran into. It was divine intervention. Oh my gosh. I ran into her at a park, and she went to her church to try to get help for her, but she had to get support, and she was turned down. So I had to put everything in the book with her permission. I have her sign a waiver, but she's from Nigeria, and she was kidnapped, you know. And she was a trafficking victim when she was young. And she was taken to Bangkok and sold into the prostitution slave out there, as a prostitution slave out there.
Wow.
So the book is very interesting. I let a bishop look at the manuscript, and he was just like blown off. And he was like, did this really happen? I said, yes, it did. So I want to get this book out because it's a jaw dropper.
Wow. So it really catalogs her journey through her experience of being a trafficking victim and how she went through that and how she made it through. That's an outstanding story, and that's so appropriate nowadays too.
Right. Because she had gotten pregnant and she had an abortion. Well, the traffickers paid for her to get the abortion. It was illegal. And so when she came here to her, she wanted to find support in these churches because confused that she was going to go to hell. But the response from the pastors was not good until she got with me. God fixed that.
Wow, that's fantastic. What a miracle. And is she here in the United States now, or is she still in Nigeria?
Still here.
I'll be. That's fantastic. What a beautiful story. So that's an awesome story of redemption. That young girl went through a lot that a lot of us can't even imagine. So that book's going to be really great, a great amount of information to share. That's just awesome. So let me see if you have any more. Do you have any more takeaways that you would like to give us and give our audience?
Well, I just like to say to any young woman who is abortion-minded, I just want to say to you that you can do this. You do not have to have an abortion. You can raise that child. If God has blessed you with one child, you can feed two. If he's blessed you with 3 kids, 3 children, you can do 4. So just stay away from those abortion mills because it's not what you guys think it is.
Wow, that's fantastic. So tell me a little bit about how we can reach you and what we can do. And what we usually will do is we'll post that information, that contact information on the screen so people that are watching and listening will know how to reach out to you. So tell us about that.
You can reach me through foreverhisgirl.com or my phone number, the business phone number, 330-459-8267.
Okay, and that's foreverhisgirl.com.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, that's fantastic. So I thank you so much today for your time, and you'll really be excited, and I'm excited for this interview to come out. It's just so timely right now, and even the story of your book with the trafficking and the abortion and all of that in there is going to be really timely too, because that's just what we're hearing so much about right now. That's what all the political fights are about, if you think about it. So, wow. And I do hope that that we will have bishops and pastors that will be listening to this and watching to this, and that they will take a stand and talk about it from the pulpit. So, okay. Well, thank you so much. Without further ado, I thank you again, and have a blessed day and week. Okay.
Thank you, and you the same.